Cardinals Vikings Week 9 preview. The storyline.
The biggest key for the Arizona Cardinals going up to play the Minnesota Vikings this weekend, 2-5 Minnesota Vikings. They've got to get back to playing sound, fundamental foot. I don't think at any point this season they really have played that sound, fundamental football that they have in the past. I know that last year they had an awful lot of turnovers, but they've got to reduce their penalties. They've got to stop turning the ball over. 9 turnovers in the last 2 games. And then they've got to simplify what it is they're doing so that they can cut down on mental errors, be it offensively, defensively, or in transition. They can't beat themselves. That's what it's all about. That's the key for the Arizona Cardinals. Cut down on the penalties, cut down on the turnovers, the inordinate amount of turnovers, and stop with the mental errors. You can't beat yourself. It's tough enough to win games in the NFL.
Matchup to watch for.
The key matchup in this game is going to be the Cardinals' ability to get to Brett Favre and apply pressure on the Minnesota Vikings quarterback. Look, he's been beat up. He's been rattled. He's had a rough time back there the last few games. And if the Arizona Cardinals can find a way to get to him, with the state of the Minnesota Vikings receivers being what it is right now, all the injuries they've endured, and Randy Moss is now in Tennessee, seems to me the Vikings are very vulnerable in the pass game. They've got to get pressure on Favre because you know they're going to see a heavy, heavy dose of Adrian Peterson, and I don't know if the Cardinals can do much to slow that down. So they have to slow down Favre. They have to get to Favre so he doesn't get the ball to what few receivers they have left there in Minnesota.
Fantasy question.
All right, time for the fantasy question in this week's game. Randy Moss, big game against the Cardinals secondary, right? Oh, no, he's not there. All right, you know what? I need to bring in some help on this fantasy question. Kendra D. St. Aubin, Minnesota Viking homer, walking by. Hi, Kendra.
Hi.
Okay, real quick, we're doing this for the website.
Yeah.
Give me one fantasy advice for this week's game since you love the Vikings so much.
Well, I'm going to bring the knowledge today. Don't start Sidney Rice. That's the knowledge. I mean, he's not going to play, so is that good?
All right, so here's my fantasy advice of the week. Go with Brett Favre if you've got him. I think Brett Favre has a good game. In fact, in my Ashes Fantasy Packs, he was my sleeper of the week. Cardinals do not do well in games like this. They don't go on the road well. Look for Minnesota to get it going, and look for Brett Favre to have a couple touchdowns passing. Even though he's a little banged up, Brett Favre is your play this week.
Prediction.
Cardinals at the Vikings this week. Minnesota has a ton of problems, right? Brett Favre, 8 stitches in his chin. He's not playing well. They just jettisoned Randy Moss out of there. Jared Allen, no sacks in the last 5 games. But the one good thing that Minnesota has going for them, they're playing the Cardinals this week, and they're at home. The Cardinals have a lot of problems at the quarterback position. The Minnesota Vikings with Adrian Peterson will be able to run the ball enough to defeat the Arizona Cardinals. Like Minnesota to win this game, 30-20, Vikings over the Cardinals.